Everybody, Better for the Better podcast, and we built a stadium. We got an article on Warcom as well, so I have achieved achievement unlocked. I mean, you guys will know me. I've been a huge Warhammer fan my whole life, so it's not quite White Dwarf, but it's basically just as good. Alright, so, whoa, let's show it off, and then we'll go and actually have a look at the stadium. So, yes, basically, we were chatting with Games Workshop, and they sort of said, do you know anybody that's building a stadium or would like to build a stadium for Halloween? And I said, okay, I'll do it. This sounds like a lot of fun. Then I kind of forgot about it. And because I wasn't sure if it was needed or was necessary, and then got an email saying, yeah, be great to have that in tomorrow. I was like, all right, okay, let's build a stadium. So we'll show you the physical thing in a minute, but basically last week or a couple of evenings, I put in some time with some foam core and some balsa wood and some spray paints, and just had a whale of a time making a stadium. You can see kind of like in the article the different stages of it. I used some windows from like dollhouse stuff, and you know what we love the lights, right? So the angle was to try and do this, which was to get the backlight kind of coming through these dollhouse windows to create nice kind of ghostly images, and yeah, had a really good time doing it. I think this was inspired though, if I do say so myself. I was like, right, okay, dollhouse windows, dollhouse picture frames, okay, they're quite big, but I thought we could take some Blood Bowl art and use it as like as paintings. So I grabbed the old Blood Bowl rulebook, as in the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook, and with some glue and these picture frames that I'd painted gold, just went and got some of the best portraits, the best shots, particularly the dude right there with the grizzle sausage mouth. That chef's kiss. I love this. There's some meme worthy art there. I thought it was absolutely great, so chuck that on there and you can kind of see it in the background on bits. Look, it's not done as well as I would have liked to have do it, but I got it done. I built it. I built the stadium. We've got all the benches, so we do have it available now. Whether it's going to be the stadium that we use for filming or not, I don't know. I kind of want to redo the back bit here so that we've got more room for benches, but we'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, it was a ton of fun to build the stadium, and I just had a great time looking at like this. Look at this, the photography that I got to play with. You've got rats, you've got Blood Bowl dudes, you've got all the guys there, you've got the window. Oh, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. But when I first sent the picture to Games Workshop, they're like, oh, can you make it more Halloweeny? Like, make it a little bit more haunted. It's Halloween, can you make it more haunty? So I absolutely went to the shops and got a bunch of Halloween goodies, some spider webs and everything, and just chucked it on it, made it as Halloweeny as I could, because it was, I just couldn't help myself. Look at that, all the cobwebs. Hate spiders, that was fun. But yes, please go check out the Warcom article, but stick around and I'll grab my camera and we'll go have a look at the stadium proper. Okay, so let's have a look at the stadium. You are going to have to forgive me. The studio is a bit messy at the moment, and I've got a huge pile to do things here, but we won't worry about that right now. So yes, this is the stadium. Where to start? So when I was like, okay, time to make a stadium, I went to B&Q, got a big 2 foot by 4 foot bit of MDF cut up so that I could put it around the edges like that, and picked a pitch to kind of build it round, and obviously you go for the vampire pitch because it's probably the best one. So I haven't got the stands because the stands are up here, so I can put the players on at the moment, because the pitch is, well, it's quite a chunky boy, so you can see we've got some more of the stands up there, but the stands do go in there. And basically I built it in 4 different parts, and I made it out of foam core because, you know, like I detailed in the article, it's the classic Games Workshop way of doing things. So when I built it in the 4 different parts, and I kind of thought to myself, which way are we going to look at it? So this bit is painted, this bit isn't really painted or detailed, so kind of was a little bit efficient with that, but you know, we went the classic old world way of like bit of timber wood on a bit of foam core to kind of get the spray in there. That worked out really nicely, really quickly. I started with the 4 towers because that was really just kind of like a bit of a no-brainer. I was like, okay, we'll build the 4 towers and then we'll build the entrance and then we'll build the back bit. And I kind of thought, right, we want the entrance to be as simple as possible because we've got some like roads and terrain and things in there that we could use, along with all my Mordheim terrain there, to kind of set it up. And you see this from the pictures on the Warcom stream, and I'll share all these. I'll share more pictures in our Discord, because you know I've put an awful lot of work into this. But yeah, so built that bit. Then I built the 2 shed bits. I call them shed bits because the way they were built, they're just kind of built like pent sheds. Like really simple construction, and a whole load of spray paint, including some textured spray paint. Hot Glue Gun is the sponsor of this whole thing, like a cheap Amazon one or whatever. Worked really nicely. And this is all, so I ordered a load of balsa wood, and it came, and it wasn't soft balsa wood. So this stuff is, you know, soft balsa wood, the classic, you know, made into timber frames. This stuff is the slightly sturdier, frustratingly, stuff that you kind of use for like laser crafting, which was a bit of a nuisance because it meant I had to score the whole lot with a Bic pen and then paint the whole thing with Agrax. But the idea was, this bit has got your stadium, your stands in. There's actually, if I can flip this up a bit, there's actually an extra floor there. Now the idea being that I can put a floor here and you can have a stadium there. In fact, let's grab some stands. Let's get rid of the blooming cobwebs because shudder. Right, so this goes in here, nice and simple. There you go, with like a really simple structure. It didn't take much work. And then we can put a floor in up here. Let's take the lid off of that so you can kind of see the structure, because I didn't glue it brilliantly. And we can kind of potentially layer in more seating. In fact, I made some small ones because the idea was going to be, we'll put some flooring in there, and then you can kind of have a second layer. So, you know, you've got like the poor people at the bottom and the less poor people there. And then my favorite bit was this bit in the middle, which was for the nobility. And I wanted to have that big window so we can shine the light through the back of it and have it come through the cracks in the ground as well. And this could be like where the star players hang out. But obviously this was a Games Workshop article, and looking at all of the teams and things we've got, I don't actually have any Games Workshop star players painted. So I was like, right, real stars of the show are going to be the Skaven team. And then you've got the pictures, which, I mean, some of this is just, it's all from the Warhammer, all from the Blood Bowl rulebook. But I was like, right, I was going to print off some star players or use some star player cards. And I thought, no, just use the rulebook because there's some quality art in there. You know, you've got the classic picture of the dice. You've got the really gribbly halfling pictures. You've got Griff, and I just thought that would add like a nice bit of flavour and zhuzh to it, to kind of just add a bit of depth. But for me, the whole thing was just a ton of fun to make, and you know, I was really glad that Tiff was like, yeah, go build what you want to build, which was very cool because that means in the future, hopefully, I can do some more cool build stuff. But it was all designed so that we could do cool shots like through the window, come on, can you see the picture through the window, and through the door, which I think we actually got some decent shots of. It's so funny, I think I took like a couple of 100 photos, so I'm really sorry for the Games Workshop guys who had to go through all of the pictures I sent in, because I sent in quite a few. But yes, we did it, we built the stadium, and now quite frankly, I have no idea what to do with it. Thank you so much for having a look at the stadium. Hopefully it's inspired you to build something that's so big you have to beg your wife to let you store it in the spare room. Oops, mistakes were made, but it was a ton of fun to do this, and it's just kind of one of those things, you know, you want to have something that you do for Games Workshop, like you paint or you build or something to be in an article. And for me, like, there's a point of personal pride there that kind of I achieved it, I ticked off a box, and I'm really happy about it. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.